Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of The Chrysalis Effect, where we are transforming mind, money, and manifestation. I am Monique White, your host. I am a nurse attorney, speaker, and transformation strategist. And here in The Chrysalis Effect, we are focusing on the transformation based on biblical principles so that you can live life the way that God has promised. I am doing something new this year. I am doing audio and visual. This is the first episode of the visual podcast. And I want to apologize for the missed episode last week. I was experiencing technical difficulties that prevented me from uploading the podcast. Technology wasn't allowing me to be great. But praise God, the difficulties have been resolved and I am back. And today I want to start a new series. As we begin this new year. But before I go any further, I want to encourage you to like, comment, and share this podcast out to 3 people. Don't forget to hit that little notification button so that you can be notified when a new episode is uploaded, and subscribe. Let's grow this channel. Thank you in advance. I so appreciate you. So, as I said, I want to start a new series. We are just beginning the new year 2022. And traditionally, it is a time of New Year resolutions, setting goals and benchmarks, starting new things or habits. And in that spirit, I want to talk about letting go of that which doesn't serve you. Letting go of that which doesn't serve you. You cannot do or create a new thing with old, busted down, old ways. So let's tackle that. When we talk about things that do not serve you, what does that word serve mean? Well, here are a couple definitions from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It's to be of use, to be worthy of reliance or trust, to furnish or supply with something needed or desired, to answer a need. Letting go of that which no longer answers your need or furnishes or supplies your need or is worthy of your reliance or trust. So I'm going to start off with the big one, and it is people. People, the hardest of them all. Despite toxic relationships, codependency, abuse, disrespect, apathy, violence, people are the hardest to let go. Now, we have all heard this saying, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Not everyone was meant to walk your life's journey to the end. As the saying goes, some people have an expiration date. And it's up to us to figure out who and when. Because when we become so attached, when the person overstays their season, if you will, or the reason that they've come into our life has been completed, but they hang on, you start to see a negative impact. Growth is stunted. Progress is impeded. You become stuck. And that's because you're out of alignment. There's a dissonance that's created. You're forcing things. The ease is gone. So how does that look? Well, it can look like that friend whom you were so close to now doesn't seem to have time for you. Or that friend that always makes you feel bad. What about that group that you used to hang out with all the time and still just wants to hang out and doesn't understand that you now are walking a different path and have different priorities and are focused on growing your business? Or another angle, it may be that relationship that just isn't working out anymore. That relationship that drains you, that is too much work. Or a person that tears down rather than builds you up. One who doesn't respect your boundaries. Am I talking to somebody? Do you know what I mean? Death by 1,000 little cuts. But why do we hang on? Why do we hang on? Well, at the root of it all is fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of the unknown. Fear of possible negative ramifications. Fear of not being able to replace them or being without. But let me ask you this. All that being said, what is the cost of staying the same? The same toxic relationship, the same abuse, the same disrespect, the same crossing of boundaries. What is the cost? And consider this, if you are holding on to something so tightly, your fist is holding on so tightly that your hand is not open to receive. What are you missing out on because you can't let go? You know, in Ecclesiastes, the Bible tells us to everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the heaven. Who is not furnishing, supplying, or answering your needs any longer? Who can no longer be relied upon or trusted? And how do you differentiate? How do you differentiate? Well, you can start with a couple questions. Ask yourself, how do you feel prior to, during, and after your interaction with them? Prior to, are you apprehensive? Are you looking for a way out? Do you become anxious? During, does your interaction make you happy or sad? Do you feel safe? Are you frustrated or understood? Disrespected or supported? And the same questions go after your interaction. How do you feel? Did they bring you low? Do you feel drained? Or are you just apathetic? What do they bring to the table? That's a big one. What do they bring to the table? Are they bringing anything? Or are you the one doing all the work? Does this person inspire you? Do they push you? Are they teaching you something about yourself and your abilities? What do they bring to the table? Or do you feel relief when they are not around? Do you feel relief when they're not around? You know, the Bible tells us how we are to deal with one another. You know, we all know 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It says in Proverbs 3, make no friendship with a man given to anger, nor with a wrathful man, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. James 3 says, whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. All of these are examples of people who serve and do not serve you. And you can find many more. This is just a couple who no longer serves you. Now, letting go is not easy and it doesn't have to be immediate. You don't have to just cut somebody off. But you have to be okay with loving some folks from afar. You can, if it's time to let this person go, you can start gradually distancing yourself. Turn down the invitation to go out. Turn down the invitation for dinner. Seasons change. That's life. That is the cycle of life. Not everyone was meant to walk your journey of life to the end with you. So, whose purpose season is up? It's hard. This I know. And it's not so easy to let go of visions or plans that you have built before you. And it's not always so easy to admit that things have changed. And some people are easier to let go than others. Family, for instance. We've all have that family member that insists on trying it. That one family member that does not give a hoot about how their actions or words affect others. How about the takers? Those that take and take and take while giving nothing back. Those who don't respect boundaries or cannot see beyond their own need, that pick and pick and pick until there's nothing but a carcass left behind. Begin surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with those who have similar values and interests. And as you become more intentional about building this circle, these positive relationships, you will attract more of the same. And as you are attracting more of the same, you will eventually push the others slowly out. Whose reason, whose purpose, whose season is up. It's time to let them go. It's not always easy. However, it is necessary. It's necessary for your growth. It's necessary for your progression. It's necessary to move into your next season in this new year. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I am Monique White, your host, and this has been the Chrysalis Effect. I will see you right back here on Thursdays at 12 noon. God bless everyone and have an awesome week. Bye-bye.